When the 12th house lord gets conjunct with other planets, it brings the rough with the smooth. Hello, namaskar and adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan. Once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. We have been doing these conjunctions of different house lords with other house lord series. Then we have also been doing the conjunction of different house lords, different planet series also. In this we have covered a number of house lords so far, where if they are in conjunction with the 9 different planets, what kind of manifestation, what kind of denotations, what kind of probabilities they bring to us. Today we will be talking about a very important placement, the conjunction of the 12th house lord with 9 different planets. Now we know the 12th house constitutes solitude, isolation, foreign lands, your spirituality, your spiritual elevation, moksha, waste and excess, armed forces, healing, hospitals, clinics, bed pleasures, a number of denotations. So when the 12th house lord gets conjunct with the other 9 other planets, it will bring about the planet influencing the results of all these areas which the 12th house constitute, plus it will also bring in, because of the conjunction, the house that particular planet rules in your horoscope. So if Sun is conjunct with the 12th house lord, obviously whichever house Sun rules will also bring about a synergy of energies between the 12th house lord and Sun, whichever house Sun rules. If Sun rules the 5th house in your horoscope, if you have the Aries ascendant, then obviously the conjunction will bring about in the energies or the synergies of energies between the 5th house lord and the 12th house lord, which means the 5th house areas and the 12th house areas will bring in the manifestation together, combining the energies of whichever is the characteristics of the 12th house, if it's Mercury, if it's Moon, if it's Sun, whatever, and the other planet whichever it is conjunct with. So keep this in mind when we jump into the conjunction of the 12th house lord with different planets. Now if the 12th house lord is conjunct with the Sun, so Sun will influence the 12th house denotation through its ability to showcase a lot of authority, a lot of responsibility, leadership in the areas of the 12th house. Sun will bring in that mannerism. So this individual, whoever it is, when the 12th house lord gets conjunct with the Sun, all the areas of the 12th house will be affected by Sun's energies also of responsibility, accountability and leadership. And this person will take a lot of pride in whatever other denotation of the 12th house. For example, firstly, because the 12th house is also the house of waste and excess, this person will put in a lot of hard work towards getting the areas achievement through whatever the 12th house denotes, as well as whichever house the Sun rules. And because the 12th house is also about going to foreign lands, working in armed forces, as a healer, as a doctor, in clinics, working as an individual in isolation. So this is a person who will bring in the characteristics of leadership, accountability, even when the person is working in isolation, or will take responsibility and take leadership and will aspire to go to foreign lands, will also like to take the leadership in foreign lands. For example, if this person is in a relationship with somebody and both of them want to go abroad, then this person will take the lead in making the paperwork, finding about what are the all different rules and regulations they need to follow when they need to go to foreign lands. Similarly, at work also, this person, because the 12th house is also more about giving, contributing. So this is the person who even at their own cost will contribute more, will do more and will take responsibility even when sometimes the authority is not given to the person, because the person feels accountable. And these people also at a soul level feel whatever are the challenges of the world, problems of the world, they also need to take accountability for them. So they will also make their contribution. And because of Sun being the planet which is conjunct with the 12th house lord, they will also take a lot of pride in how they bring certain kind of relief, certain kind of results to the denotation of the 12th house. Plus, this as a person also, sometimes they will show a lot of authority and maybe also push hard when their hard work is not getting the results that they expect. So firstly, they'll put in a lot of hard work, they will try to bring in a lot of energy, and they will also push hard to get the results that they want, even sometimes pushing hard, so hard that they may come across as more dictatorial, even controlling. And these people may also get a little frustrated when they are not getting the results from the 12th house, because the 12th house is also the house of waste and excess. And so sometimes they may end up doing excessive force. And because the 12th house is also the house of bed pleasures, so this person also wants to take the lead in matters of bed pleasures, in matters of sexuality also, in the bedroom also. And if Sun is placed well in good conjunction with the 12th house Lord, then this will also bring in a lot of positive energy, bring in the positivity of the Sun, shining abroad, doing well abroad, in foreign lands, in government services, working with foreign embassies, foreign governments also, taking the lead or rising to very high levels in the armed forces like a general, or being the deans, or leading maybe clinics, hospitals, or working in isolation but in the leadership role, maybe an individual role in foreign companies, foreign lands also. So these are the overall denotations of when the 7th house lord, when the 12th house lord gets conjunct with the Sun. Now wherever the conjunction occurs, it will also bring in its own flavor. If the 12th house lord is conjunct with Sun, say in the 4th house, and Sun rules the 5th house in the horoscope, is conjunct with the 12th house lord in the 4th house, so then the 12th house energies, the 5th house energies which Sun rules in the horoscope will come together, synergizing the 4th house results, which means in the domestic life, in the matters of assets, also these energies will combine to bring about their own results. Now when the 12th house lord gets conjunct with Mercury in your horoscope, so here all the areas of the 12th house, which is about isolation, living in solitude, working abroad, working in foreign lands, working with foreign government, working with foreign companies, and working in MNCs, maybe clinics, hospitals, armed forces, all of these get contributed by or affected by Mercury. So here the person will become very analytical, very calculative, very practical wherever the person is taking or adding or contributing to the results of the 12th house. So here is the person who is very practical to matters of the 12th house. So if this person likes to be somebody who is more of an introvert, not an extrovert, so this person will be more practical in how the person approaches his or her work. They will not just take something because for the sake of taking that particular thing because they may get some more money. They will think hard that I am an introvert, I need to get into services where I don't need to work with a lot of people. So they will pick and choose, and then from that they will also go deep down to understand where I can get the best results while I can work more in isolation. So this is a thinking person, practical person who will look at all the attributes of life connected to the 12th house and then take their decisions. Because here Mercury is involved, Mercury doesn't do very well in the 12th house because 12th house has Pisces energies and Mercury gets debilitated there. However, the debilitated Mercury will bring in the flip side of Mercury. So when the 12th house lord gets conjunct with Mercury, this is a person who will bring in a lot of creativity, a lot of imagination to their work, to their practical application. So this can be a person who is very imaginative, creative writer, because the imaginative, creative side of Mercury has got activated rather than so much of the practical side. So this person still not completely lose his or her practicality, will not completely lose his or her logic, but will bring in the creativity, the imagination to be able to get the best results. So this person can be somebody who can be a good writer, who can be somebody who can be very creative, write something about the imaginative world, or write something about foreign lands, may write something about foreign travels, or work in a more communication oriented role for MNCs, foreign companies, or even in foreign land. This person can also have the education associated with foreign degrees, foreign certifications, and may want to go abroad, work abroad also in a work which is more analytical, where maybe they need to work in isolation or with team, but their work will have a more analytical edge. They will have a certain degree of analysis, output, calculative denotation also to that. So this can be a software engineer, this can be a programmer, this can be somebody who is working in foreign banks, in insurance and audits. Either the numbers get affected or connected, or IT, or organized effort or analytical effort gets affected with their work. Now whichever house the 12th house lord gets conjunct with Mercury, that will bring in its own flavor, own energy. So if Mercury rules two different houses in the horoscope, those flavors along with the 12th house flavors will also come in, and the house in which they two get conjunct. So say for example, Mercury rules the second house and the 5th house in the horoscope, and now is conjunct with the 12th house lord in the 6th house. So the flavors of the second house, the 5th house combining with the 12th house will come together about the 6th house results with service, working in medical profession, working in pharmaceutical companies, all those may also come together. Now when the 12th house lord is conjunct with Venus, Venus gets exalted in the 12th house. We all know that, because the 12th house has Pisces energies and Venus gets exalted in the 12th house. So this is a good combination when Venus gets conjunct with the 12th house, because here creativity, material results, responsibility in connections, in relationship, and a balance is brought to the areas of the 12th house. So here, because Venus is also about your affluence, creativity, imagination, the good life, wanting the good quality of life, so Venus gets or associates itself with all the areas of the 12th house, bringing its own flavor. So this is a person who wants to do very well in the material world, and so the person will work hard to be able to get the material benefits. But the 12th house is the house of waste and excess. So here Venus may do very well, however the person will have to put in a lot of hard work to be able to get the higher material results. However, this is a better placement for Venus than any other planet, because as I said, Venus gets exalted in the 12th house. So here the person may be able to get better results of his effort, better results in the artistic world, in the music world, maybe in any creative world, and this person may also like to live it up. This person may also like to enjoy the good quality of life. And sometimes, because the 12th house is also the house of waste and excess, this person may tend to go a little overboard in his or her expenses because they like to live it up. A person who may be very good looking wants to enjoy the good quality of life, and so their effort is based on a balance between what they want to do on the material side connected to work, how hard they work, just to get the financial aspect also, the material gains also out of it. But the other denotation is also more spiritual, because the 12th house is also the house of your spiritual elevation, moksha also. So yeah, if the person is more careful and is able to keep a little tight lid on the expenses and is ready to, or is able to give more to others in charity, don't focus so much on materialism. Of course, some materialism is always good. You need to live it up, you need to enjoy the good life also. But some degree of being open-handed, being more grateful to the Lord, and being graceful in also giving to others is also important. If you are able to do that, then you will see over a period of time the zodiac rewards you with much more. And not only does the zodiac reward you in the material benefits over a period of time, if you have an open hand where you are being more charitable, more giving, but also on the spiritual denotation also, especially because Venus gets exalted in the 12th house. Now whichever house the 12th house lord is conjunct with Venus in, that also result will bring in, and whichever houses Venus also rules, that flavor will also come in. So for example, if Venus rules the second house and the 7th house in your horoscope and is now placed in the Pisces sign itself with the 12th house lord, so here the conjunction will be very, very strong, because the 12th house is about Jupiter being the ruler of Pisces sign, so Jupiter and Venus coming together. So here the 9th house denotation, because Jupiter rules the 9th house and the 12th house, and the 2nd and the 7th house all come together. So you need to look at the flavor of the person marrying abroad. If it's a lady, if it's a man, the spouse may also come from foreign land, and a lot of material benefits connected to education may also come in for this person. That's how you should be able to see how the 12th house lord, when it gets conjunction with Venus, will bring in different results. Now when the 12th house lord gets conjunct with the moon, moon is your imagination, moon is your attachment, moon is your empathy, moon is also your ability to be able to empathize with others, support others, nourish others, and also have a certain degree of nurturing streak to how they affect the results of the 12th house. 12th house is about giving, doing more for others, being more charitable. So when the 12th house gets house lord gets conjunct with the moon. So here a lot of charitable denotation also comes to the person. A lot of nurturing, supporting, giving, understanding oriented energy, wanting to empathize with people, contributing to others. So usually this person may select a job or get into a career or even business where they are bringing in some sort of support, solace, nurturing others. So whichever career you are in, especially if your 12th house lord is conjunct with the moon, you will find that you will have a certain degree of supportive streak to the general society, to the general masses. The products or the services that you are catering to, or you are working in an MNC or a company which is catering to, that company has a certain supportive streak to society itself, as a supportive streak to the masses. And in certain way it is also nurturing and supporting people at a large level. And this is also placement of very high creativity, very high imagination also. So this person can be somebody who also is very, very creative in their service, how they are able to work, and they also have a strong attachment, emotional attachment to whatever work they do. They have also strong emotional attachment even to the colleagues that they are at work. And so this person can be very loyal, very, very committed, but also have a strong emotional attachment. If moon is placed well when conjunct with the 12th house lord, then it can also bring a lot of spiritual elevation to the person, because the person may also be very spiritual in contributing, in nourishing others, in supporting others. On the flip side, if moon is not well placed with the 12th house lord, because the 12th house is also house of waste and excess, many times a lot of the effort or what result they want may go to waste, because of which this person may be anxious, frustrated, even dejected. So this person may sometimes not be the most happy person working for that organization or the kind of service that they're doing, and they may also feel a little let down, especially of rules, regulation, the company, the team, or the supervisors letting them down. So this person needs to be careful, keep their emotions in check, not lose their emotions. If it is not very well placed, strongly afflicted, then there can also be a bigger challenge where the person may also lose sleep, may not be able to get good sleep, and even suffer over a period of time, even have emotional challenges. So this is a semi-good placement, but there are certain challenges also to it. However, a lot of creativity, a lot of imagination, doing very well when connected to the areas of the 12th house as a healer, as a problem solver, as somebody who can be a very good technologist. So somebody is working in IT, somebody is working in hardware, somebody who is able to do a lot of good work in surgery, surgical work also, or nurturing work, nurses or attendants, or somewhere getting connected to the medical profession or any profession where supporting, nourishing is involved. And that is the denotation of the 12th house lord gets conjunct with moon. However, you also need to see where the conjunction is occurring, because that flavor may also come in. If the 12th house lord is conjunct with the moon in the 9th house, so here the person may be attached to higher learning, higher spiritual learning also. This person may also be very spiritual in their denotation. So this is the high placement of also the person going to foreign lands, working abroad, and then doing very well, using the educational qualification to further their role, not only at a worldly material level, but even at a spiritual level. Now when the 12th house lord gets conjunct with Mars, Mars is the planet which does much better in the 12th house, because Mars doesn't fear isolation. Mars is the ruler of the Scorpio sign, the 8th house, which means the depth. And who has the courage or the energy to go into the depths and to be able to extract results from it, win over it? That is only Mars. Mars is fearless. So person who has Mars conjunct with the 12th house lord usually is more fearless than the others, will not hesitate, will be very, very dynamic in their approach to work, especially connected to the areas of the 12th house. So this can be somebody, all those people who can be a person in uniform, wherever they work, whether they are having a doctor's uniform, or they have the uniform of the blue overall in the manufacturing industry, or somebody who can be a nurse who's wearing that uniform, or having a uniform in the fire engine services, or anybody who has wearing a uniform connected to armed services, police or the military, even the air force. That is the strong denotation of the 12th house lord conjunct with Mars. So those kind of flavors will also come in. However, because Mars is the killer instinct, your ability to be able to get goals and achieve goals. But the 12th house is also the house of waste and excess. So here many times a person, if the person is not calculative enough, if the person is not tactical enough, if the person is not strategic enough, then their efforts, their hard work may go to waste, because they are jumping in trying to get results. However, they have not planned enough, they have not calculated enough, they have not been practical enough, which Mars sometimes does. So then they have to work put double the effort to get results, because a lot of their effort is going to waste. So excessive work, excessive force may also be required, excessive energy, excessive dedication may also be required for such a person to get better results. So if your 12th house lord is conjunct with the planet Mars, one has to be a little careful and be more practical and take a calculative approach, more thought through approach when you are getting associated with any areas connected to the 12th house. So if you are in armed forces, you can't rush into a very dangerous situation. If you are a doctor or a surgeon, you can't rush into surgery, you have to plan, you need to be better prepared. If you are somebody who's in the manufacturing industry, you need to be careful, because high level of injuries can also come through, because the 12th house is also the house of waste, excesses, and also the hospitals and clinics also. If Mars is strongly placed with the 12th house, this can be somebody who can be having a lot of stars through the uniform, excel in armed forces, excel in the police force, have a lot of medals, a lot of recognition as well. And this is also good placement where the person may bring in a lot of recognition to the industry that they are in, through sheer hard work, through sheer dynamism, through the sheer killer instinct, goal orientation as well. So these people can be very, very decorated soldiers, very, very decorated people in the armed forces, very, very decorated doctors, engineers, somebody who's breakthrough creative energy also. Now, whichever the 12th house lord is getting conjunct with Mars in whichever house, that flavor will also come in, apart from which houses Mars rules. So if the 12th house lord is conjunct with Mars in the 10th house, this is a fantastic placement where the person may work abroad, in foreign lands, in foreign services, in armed forces, working with foreign governments, also working in MNC companies, working as problem solvers, working as healers, also somebody who can be in a high level of administrative services. Middle management an easy thing for them, but they can rise through sheer hard work to the highest levels of corporate power, corporate influence as well. Now when the 12th house lord is conjunct with Jupiter, Jupiter does better in the 12th house because the 12th house has Pisces energies. However, Jupiter is also planet of expansion. So when Jupiter gets conjunct with the 12th house lord, it expands both the positive and the negative denotations of that planet. If the planet which is the 12th house lord is friendly with Jupiter, so be it. But if the planet which is the 12th house lord is not friendly with Jupiter, then the challenges may be slightly more than what are the material benefits coming for you, because Jupiter will expand the negative denotations of the planet rather than the positive. However, Jupiter is still a very strongly benefic planet, but enough benefic results will also come to the person, especially connected to the matters of the 12th house. So here the person will be able to have their Jupiter expand the areas of the 12th house, which means you will also be somebody who may be able to put in a lot of hard work, because 12th house is the house of hard work or working hard and also excesses. But on the other hand, you may also put in excessive work where it may not be needed. You may not be tactical enough, you may not be practical enough, you may not be somebody who knows how to do smart work. You are just working hard. So sometimes the best results of this placement may come a little late in life, because this person is not somebody who is very clever. This is the person who's wise, who's hardworking also, but sometimes this person can also be a little lackadaisical. This is not the Martian energy, the dynamic energy, the go-getting energy. This is the Jupiterian energy of being expansive, but also a little on the lackadaisical level. So this is a person who will work very hard over a period of time, but to get very good results. And this person can do very well both abroad, in foreign lands, working in certain companies which can be associated with Jupiter. So this can be somebody who can have some manner of work getting connected to consulting, teaching, guiding, advising people also connected to the matters of the 12th house. So this can be somebody who starts off low as an individual performer, as an individual worker, but rises through the sheer amount of creativity that they have, their learning that they have, the higher qualification that they have, the experience that they have, and through that ends up showcasing themselves as a guru, as a teacher, as a master, connected to the matters of the 12th house. So this person can initially be somebody who may be, say for example, a doctor, ends up leading a team of doctors, maybe somebody who's a doctor but also teaches in a university, teaches the medical students. This person can be somebody who's in the armed forces but ends up becoming somebody who's a teacher, an instructor, consultant, like a maverick in Top Gun, where he's the instructor. So somewhere a person who is a guru in armed forces, or guru as a healer, as a solver, and also in the financial attributes. So this can be somebody who starts off in banking services, ends up as a guru, ends up as a master, ends up at the top of the game, somebody who is an advisor, consultant, and guide, or at least seen as an expert in their department, in their industry as well. Now this person, through over a period of time, learning from the both the practical experiences as well as the educational experiential learning, they will rise to the top. And this can also be somebody who's more spiritual as the life progresses. Because of the ups and downs in life, they become more spiritual. They are able to absorb the high learning the life is able to give them, and usually in the later part of their life, they become more giving, because Jupiter expands the notion of being more giving and being more open-minded. Now whichever house the 12th house lord gets conjunct with Jupiter will also bring in its own flavor, apart from whichever house the Jupiter rules. So if this conjunction occurs in the 5th house, then the matters of the 12th house will get connected with the high power influence of the 5th house, and the usually a changeable nature of the work also, in the career also. That is the denotation when the 12th house lord gets conjunct with Jupiter. Now when the 12th house lord gets conjunct with Saturn, this is a strong placement, because Saturn is the Karaka of the Dusthanas. Saturn is the Karaka of the 6th, 8th and the 12th house. So when Saturn gets conjunct with the 12th house, Saturn will bring in its own stability, organized effort, discipline, its dedication, its cooperative, team-working approach to the matters of the 12th house, and wherever the conjunction occurs. So this is a person who will start off very slow results, working over a period of time, extremely hard-working person. But the 12th house is also the house of waste and excess. So usually this is a person who will be able to put in a lot of hard work, lot of teamwork, contribute more, but may not be able to get the fruits of their labor easily. So the rise of such a person, when they compare themselves to other people, maybe their own colleagues, their own students or fellow students in college, they will find that somewhere, compared to some people at least, they will find that they have slowed down, or they have not done as well as the others, especially if they have been of the same aptitude, same intelligence. They will find that people of their generation, of the same aptitude, the same intelligence, same IQ, have done slightly better than these people, and these people have got the profits of the fruits of their labor over a period of time through sheer hard work, sheer perseverance, and sheer stability. If this is a person who has changed a lot of jobs early in life, then the stability, because they have not been stable in their job, Saturn doesn't reward them easily. Saturn wants you to be stable before giving you results. So unless they show stability of a few years, and then in another company, or maybe the same company again of the few years, maybe working in a different department, then they grow over a period of time. This is a placement also where the person can be a little frugal. They will not be extremely open-handed in terms of expenses, and usually the expenses which they do will not be for themselves. Sometimes these people can also be a little hand to mouth. Everything, whatever they earn is expended, but very less of that percentage of money spent on themselves. Usually such people may also not be extremely well groomed. There will be some people who will have some area of their life where they have been very lackadaisical. They have not paid much attention to either to their health, to their looks, or to the upkeep of the home or their car. In one area of their life, they will not be very happy. They may not be very boastful. They may not have much to show in terms of achievement. So these people need to be careful and need to showcase or focus on those areas which they have not focused their energy on, attention of, and they have to improve those areas also, because that lackadaisical nature will also stop getting the higher gains. And the other thing is, this person can also struggle to either go abroad or struggle to do very well in foreign lands. Even if they are somehow able to go to foreign lands even at a young age, first of all, they will not be able to go to foreign lands easily at a young age. Maybe most probably in their 30s they may be able to go. But if for some reason, even if they go early, they will find that they'll have to work hard over a period of time to be able to get good results there. Especially because Saturn will slow down the results, Saturn will expect you to work hard. The other thing is that this can also be a person, when they go to foreign lands, over a period of time they may be able to achieve results and they may be able to do very well. And because Saturn gives them stability, they may become so stable in that particular place, they may not want to come back. So usually such people may not come back as often to their country, whichever country they are from. And sometimes they end up their lives even in foreign lands because they are more stable there, they are more settled there, though the results may come later to them. This can be somebody who is in government service connected to foreign lands, but if Saturn is not well placed, they may face a lot of challenges, issues, problems, and even legal challenges in foreign lands. So one has to be careful, especially if Saturn is not well placed with the 12th house lord, is not friendly with the 12th house lord, then there can be a lot of challenges. For example, Saturn, if it's placed with Mars, which is the 12th house lord, with Sun, if it's the 12th house lord, or with Moon, if it's the 12th house lord, can bring in more challenges. However, Saturn, if it's conjunct with Mercury as the 12th house lord, or Venus as the 12th house lord, or even Jupiter as the 12th house lord, can get you better results. Now, whichever house it is conjunct with the 12th house lord, bring in its own flavor. If the 12th house lord is conjunct with Saturn in the 7th house, then the flavor of the 12th house will also come in. The other two houses that Saturn rules will also come in, but the results of the 7th house will also come in. Saturn gets highest directional strength in the 12th house. So this is the placement of high degree of stability in teamwork, connected to even your marital relations, in your marital union, and this can be a high stability built over a period of time, working with people and through relationship and through connections. Now when the 12th house lord gets conjunct with Rahu, this is a very, very unique placement. Rahu does exceptionally well when conjunct with the 12th house lord, as long as the conjunction doesn't occur in the 12th house itself, because Rahu may become too aspirational, too aggressive, too overbearing when it goes to the 12th house. Sometimes the expansiveness of Rahu or the hunger and greed for Rahu, especially in the 12th house, may be higher than that is needed. That's why Ketu does much better in the 12th house than with Rahu, than when Rahu goes into the 12th house. So if the conjunction occurs in any other house, with the Rahu is conjunct with 12th house lord, then it may bring much better results than when it occurs in the 12th house itself. Rahu brings in a clever sharpness connected to the areas of the 12th house. So this is a person who can be very, very unusual, very unorthodox, somebody who can also be path breaking, very, very creative, will think out of the box about areas of the 12th house. So this person can be somebody who does a lot of research, has a very in-depth, incisive knowledge about the areas of the 12th house. So if this person gets into medical service, so this can be a surgeon par excellence. This person will bring in a breakthrough method of doing surgery, breakthrough method of bringing in new medicine, path-breaking achievement. They may write a lot of papers about the work that they do, whether it's about medicine or about surgery or anything. These people will be very path-breaking. They will have very innovative ideas. They will have out-of-the-box, very unorthodox ways of working, but very practical ways of working which they can apply, and they may surprise a lot of people. However, this person usually is seldom as breakthrough thinking as they want. Usually they get tied too much into materialism. Why should I do that? Why should I put in so much hard work? People may not listen to me. This seems to be a good idea, but this may not work. So many times the Rahu's greed and sometimes not wanting to put too much hard work, wanting to work smart, comes in the way of achieving superlative success connected to the 12th house. So usually these people can have, if they want, get superlative success connected to all the areas of the 12th house. In the banking industry, in manufacturing industry, in armed forces, in the medical profession, going to foreign lands, working in MNC company. This is a fantastic placement if they are able to temper the higher hunger and greed and sometimes the unreasonable effectiveness, the unreasonable expectation that they have, and if they are able to temper that, they are able to bring in a lot of organized effort, still the ability to work hard and being more strategic, more tactical. This can be a fantastic placement, a very, very high achievement. Now, whichever house the 12th house lord gets conjunct with Rahu will also have its own bearing. So, if this conjunction occurs in the Lagna, for example, then the person will also be very breakthrough in most of the decisions in life. This person will have a slightly unorthodox way of looking at the health, unorthodox, unusual way of looking at how they achieve different goals in life. They have a high degree of dynamism, but also high degree of also being a little careful of not rushing into too many things unless they know that they have certain output which will also favor them, where they may also get the fruits of their labor. So a very high thinking person, very innovative thinking person, this person can do a lot of good, lot of breakthrough things that person can do. This can also be a person who is very spiritual in their mannerism in life while also wanting to get material benefits which Rahu represents. So can do very, very well in foreign lands, can do very, very well in industries related to the 12th house, and if they are able to or they are up to it, can bring in a lot of creative, unusual, unorthodox way of living, also leaving a strong legacy behind. Now when the 12th house lord get conjunct with Ketu, this is a very, very potent energy. However, this has more spiritual, eternal life placement rather than the materialistic life. It does not mean that the material gains will not come to them. However, they will have to work harder than the others only for the material gains. This is a strong placement where the spiritual gains is almost promised to the person. The Lord, the Zodiac, Srishti is saying, the Zodiac is saying that if you work towards giving, if you are working towards donating, being charitable, and you are looking at, let me see how I contribute first, I will look at the material gains later, then the Zodiac unexpectedly for you will open up the coffers where superlative success, material success can also come to these people, apart from high degree of spiritual attention, spiritual elevation also. A very, very potent energy, both straddling the material side if the person is contributing enough over a period of time, as well as the spiritual denotation. However, because Ketu is a denier of results, so the material results of the 12th house are also denied to the person unless the person becomes more giving, more charitable, and is able to do that over a period of time. Then slowly the result, the material results will also come to the person. Usually these people will find it very difficult to go to foreign lands, or they may not want to go to foreign lands, or they may want to go to foreign lands because they think that they will be able to contribute better rather than the focus being only on the material gain. They may feel that the life may be better, the quality of life may be better, I may be able to contribute better, I may be able to do better. And so these people, even if they are in foreign lands, they may not have a very strong attachment to the material things or to the foreign land itself. They are there more for stability maybe. And usually they may take some time to go there, and sometimes even when they go there, even when their roots will not be completely cut off from where they are born in, their birthplace. So they will keep coming back, or they will have some connections back home also. This is also strong placement where the person wants to contribute a lot and is always thinking. Sometimes this person may also have this feeling of deja vu, that I've lived this life before and I've been here, done that, and what can I contribute, what is my purpose of life, where can I do more. And this is not a very religious person, this is a more spiritual person. The person thinks that where can I do more, where can I contribute more, can I contribute more through my work. And so many times through their work they become more contributing, through their teamwork they become more giving, and some way also they can become more charitable also. So this is a person, if they get connected to, their careers get connected to the 12th house, so they're here, they may also bring in a spiritual manner of looking at their work, that this is good work, this is Lord's work, I'm doing this work, so I need to do it with utmost dedication. So usually these people can be people who may be working for the Red Cross, or may be working for any social organization, or any organization where the contribution is of the essence rather than the materialism. So very high degree of both material success and spiritual success built over a period of time if the person is giving. Almost a very strong placement of the eternal life, the moksha itself can come to this person if this person is more giving, more charitable, and not so greedy. Now whichever house this conjunction occurs, the 12th house lord with Ketu will also bring in its own flavor. For example, if it gets connected or the conjunction occurs in another dusthana, say for example in the 8th house. So firstly, this is the Viparita Raj Yoga because the 12th house lord is placed in the 8th house, but with Ketu. So this is also placement where this person seems to be a little disconnected with the material world. They have one foot is in the material world, but another foot is in the spiritual world. So many times this person can also have little challenges in their life, obstacle issues in their life. But if these people become more spiritual, where I want to give more, I want to do more, then two moksha houses getting connected and with Ketu, a lot of good results may come to them later in life, extremely contributing, extremely donating, extremely giving, and a very good crack at moksha itself. So friends, now that we have discussed about how the 12th house lord, when it gets conjunct with the 9 different planets, will bring its own favors, check what other doshas, aspects, yogas the conjunction occurs in, because they will also bring in their own flavor. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me, the link given below. Until some other time, some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.